Nkere is finally used to betray Simon Ekpa to stop the Biafran restoration and its full independence. My dear listeners, in this very video, you will hear it live from the horse's mouth, not just by Dr. Ngozi Orapreze, but by a very strong international Biafran delegate who identified himself as a born Biafra. And please, if you are not doing anything serious, please deem it fit to pay attention to this very video because the story is strong. Please, happy watching. This is the Lord TV.
Governments here in the United States in legal matters. I don't do any lobbying at all, and that helps me separate. I'm not registered ever as a foreign lobbyist for a foreign government, but my specialty is in dealing with very difficult and complex international legal issues, which interestingly apply to the Biafran government in exile. And I am pleased and honored to be able to help your government. And my goal is a long-term relationship with an actual government that's not just in exile, but one that's recognized by many, many countries, and let's cross our fingers, UN recognition and a member of the United Nations. So that would be, I grew up, my parents are, I am a child of the 70s, and I remember my parents talking about the brief existence of the Biafran government and the issues. So it's interesting to make a connection between my childhood stories about Biafra, and my parents were always very politically active, talking about Patrice Lumumba and African causes, and Biafra was one of those. So now here I am as legal counsel to the Biafran government in exile. It's a pleasure and it's an honor, and I leave it to you.
And also to note an interesting personal connection that Arman and I have. We come from very similar cultures. Arman is of Armenian background and I'm of Greek background, and we both come from people that have experienced genocide and ethnic cleansing, and that's something that the Biafrans have experienced. And I told Arman, this was very, we found it very humorous that some of the Biafrans were confused and thought Dabiri might have been a Nigerian name, and you remember I put out a tweet that Arman is not a Nigerian, that he's an Armenian American. But apparently there are some Nigerians who have the last name Dabiri, which is interesting.
That is very interesting.
It is. Anyway, thank you so very much, Dabiri. It's really an honor to meet you, and thanks to Elias, who I call my brother, and a very good son of Biafra land. I don't even know how to. I mean, Biafrans are like out 24/7, trying to protect, trying to attack whoever says anything negative to Elias. They are ready to jump in. That's how like how passionate he is to Biafrans. And again, our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, is somebody that millions of Biafrans love, and they obey him. Whatever he says is they see it as their savior, not just because he's Simon Ekpa, but because the cause they believe in, which is the independence and restoration of Biafra, has gone just beyond an individual. So while our leader Nnamdi Kanu was there, and Nigerian government abducted him from Kenya, and he's right now in Nigerian DSS dungeon for the past almost 4 years, going to 5. Our Nnamdi Kanu, our PM Simon Ekpa, whom Nnamdi Kanu told Biafrans, go and listen to Simon Ekpa. That is actually whom the whole Biafrans and the world is following, actually. And
now take a look at this very little information we have here. Now this is coming from Aman Dabiri, Alliance and the United States of Biafran Chief of Staff, Dr. Orabueze. Now, listen to these two very recordings on how Ahmad Dabiri plans for USB recognition after our declaration in Finland. So, the person you actually listen to is Ahmad Dabiri, that the man that first spoke on the audio I just played for you, followed by Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. You can see the plan which Ahmad Dabiri actually have for Biafra restoration and the evil plan that Nkere actually have, but will definitely fail. Now, the conflict of interest between this Ahmad Dabiri, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, and Nkere is what is actually stated here. Now, Ahmad Dabiri and Alliance used by Isaiah Anyaogo, aka Oge Nkere, and the fallback and the fallback Biafran Republic government cabinet member and the Nigerian government to sue the United States of Biafra to stop the Biafran restoration, and the full independence of Biafra was actually an advisor to the United States of Biafra Chief of Staff on how to recognize the USB. Now, let me tell you, my dear listeners, Oge Nkere has been this very person from day one. This is who Oge Nkere is. He has been this kind of person. They have been using him to, to try to destabilize Biafra, but he has been failing. But because we have Chukwukike Abiyama, that is why Simon Ekpa has been succeeding. I'm telling you. Now, see his evil plan. See the wicked plan he is currently having against Simon Ekpa. Not just Simon Ekpa, but Biafran as a whole. Oh, Nnamdi Kanu. Oge Nkere is the second of Uchemefo. He is the second of Uchemefo. He is the next used by the government, by the federal government of Nigeria, the detractors of the federal government of Nigeria, but he has failed. Thank God for Dr. Ngozi Orabueze and her strength in pushing up for this very republic. Biafran restoration has come. Nobody can stop it. So, my dear listeners, for more updates, please, I beg you to subscribe and also like this blog channel to get more updates from us. This is The Lord TV.